The San Francisco 49ers just got even scarier on defense. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Sammy J Reacts. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the recent signing of Javon Hargrave to the San Francisco 49ers, solidifying that defensive line. Before we get into the video, I want to ask if you could please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so we can continue talking about what we love to watch. And that means 49er football, baby. So to my and probably a lot of other 49er fans' surprise, the Niners actually forked out a lot of money for an interior defensive tackle when it was announced today that they signed Javon Hargrave, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, to an absolutely massive 4-year, $84 million deal with a $23 million signing bonus and $40 million in total guarantees. Now, it is important to note that there are 2 void years in this deal, so it's really like a 2-year, $40 million deal. And the most important thing is the cap hit in 2023 is only going to be $6.6 million. That is a lot of money to give to a defensive tackle, but guess what? Javon Hargrave deserves it. He was the best interior defensive tackle out there on the free agent market, and the 49ers thought that the interior defensive line was obviously a need. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. This is just going to solidify this defensive line and push it to heights that we didn't even know was possible. Adding Javon Hargrave to a defensive line that already has Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, Samson Ebukam, Charles Omenihu, it's going to make this defense even more unstoppable. So with the 49ers spending this much money on Javon Hargrave, the writing is on the wall. Javon Kinlaw is probably out of there. When they drafted Javon Kinlaw, they were hoping he could be what Javon Hargrave is, and he just hasn't turned out to be that player since joining the 49ers. And honestly, in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, he was exposed. He was getting destroyed in the run game, in the double teams. He just couldn't be the player that we needed him to be. And injuries do play a huge factor in that, and it's just unfortunate for Javon Kinlaw. I was really hoping that he could make an impact here with the 49ers, but hey, we got Javon Hargrave now. He's a 49er, so let's focus on him and really dive deep into why the Niners forked out so much money for him and why I think this is a match made in heaven. It's such a great signing. Taking a quick look at Javon Hargrave's player profile, you'll see that he's 30 years of age. He's coming off of his best year ever in terms of PFF grade. He had an 80.1 grade, which was 11th out of 126 interior defensive linemen, which ranked him number 12 in the entire NFL. Now, it does help when you're on a defensive line that had 70 sacks in the regular season. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get 1 sack in the Super Bowl, but hey, neither here nor there. It definitely helps when you have elite players around you. And guess what? Going from the Eagles to the 49ers, you're going to the cream of the crop with Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, and the boys that I just mentioned earlier. And just to give you an idea of how elite Javon Hargrave has become since 2020, Javon Hargrave's 92.2 pass rush grade trails only Aaron Donald and Chris Jones at the position, with his 18.8 pass rush win rate also ranking 3rd. It's insane. This kid has become one of the premier interior pass rushers. And the Niners added him to their defensive line with Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa. I've said it 3 times now, but oh my God, I just like the possibilities on the stunts and the game. Steve Wilks is just a lucky man right now, and I fear for opposing offensive lines. They're going to have their hands full, quite literally, with Javon Hargrave and everyone else on the defensive line. It's impeccable. What John Lynch has been able to do here since coming to San Francisco in general has been insane, and he just adds another elite player like Javon Hargrave to this defensive line. It's incredible. And just to get you even more excited, 49er fans, for Javon Hargrave, here are his stats over the last 2 seasons via PFF. He's had 118 total pressures, 19 total sacks, 62 stops, which means you get a stop on 3rd down, and that's it. The drive is completely over. Whether it be in the run game or the pass game, he has 62 stops. And he wins on 19.3% of his pass rushing reps. And I just keep raving about it. The 49ers just added one of, if not the best pass rushing interior defensive line to the NFL's #1 ranked defense. The rich just keep getting richer, and now this defense they're going to play at a level that's hitherto undreamt of. To quote Tony Stark from Avengers Infinity War, it's going to be insane the levels that they're going to be able to reach now that they have, first of all, an edge rusher who's top 3 at his position in Nick Bosa, and now Javon Hargrave, who's also top 3 at his position in the interior defensive line. And Eric Armstead ain't no scrub. Eric Armstead is going to eat this year. It's going to be freaking crazy to watch what they're able to do with that defensive line. And the best part about this news is that Javon Hargrave actually had more money on the table with a couple of other teams, but he wanted to come to San Francisco. He knows what we got over here. He wants to continue thriving on a team that has other elite talent around him. Another huge factor that we can't overlook is the fact that they've also weakened the Eagles, their biggest challenger to come out of the NFC. It's going to be tough for the Eagles to try to replicate his production because he is an elite talent, and it's just, like I said, going to weaken their defense, and all the more better for the 49ers. Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, or in this case, if you can't beat them, just sign all their players away from them. It's going to be, that's pretty funny. That's pretty much all the notes and thoughts I have on the Javon Hargrave signing. I did also see that the Niners were able to re-sign Kevin Givens, which is great depth for that defensive line, and he's going to give Javon Hargrave a breather. So, and like I mentioned before, they go from one Javon to another. I think the writing's on the wall with Javon Kinlaw. They're probably looking to trade him now. I don't know if there's going to be a team out there that bites. I really hope that he's able to land back on his feet. I don't see a scenario with him coming back to the Niners, but hey, if he wants to be depth, why not? I just don't see a way for him to be on the field with his poor play, and he's just always injured, unfortunately. But we got Javon Hargrave, baby, so we ain't even got to worry about it. The 49ers also made waves when they signed Sam Darnold this morning to a one-year deal. We don't know the terms or how much money they're going to give him. If I had to guess, maybe like $5 million. And who knows? He could potentially be the actual backup, not just the third stringer. But hey, with the 49ers' luck at quarterback, they probably told Sam Darnold, look, you can be the third string quarterback here, but with the way our quarterbacks drop like flies, you'll probably get some playing time. And what better team than the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle to try to revitalize your career? I mean, I think we kind of know what Sam Darnold is. I don't think he's going to get any better. He's thrown double-digit interceptions in 4 out of the 5 years he's been in the NFL, and he's just a turnover machine. Even when he was at USC, he turned the ball over a lot, and they had an elite team. So, hey, I still think it's a really good signing. Depends on how much money they gave him and where they expect him to. As a third-string quarterback, I would rather have him than Josh Johnson 150,000%. You know what I mean? But there are other layers to why I love this signing so much for the 49ers. One, it's going to light a fire under Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. This is a vet quarterback here. Like, you better be on your P's and Q's. Like, he's been in the league for 5 years, more than both you guys combined. So you guys better be making sure he's not going to take your spot as the backup. I mean, I don't really envision a scenario where Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback day one unless both of the quarterbacks just aren't ready to go from both of their injuries. But I mean, hey, you can win games with Sam Darnold, especially with the team that you have. Now adding Javon to that defense, all he really has to do is check it down to CMC, run those bubbles to Deebo, hit those shots to George Kittle, hit Brandon Ayuk every now and again, and you'll be fine, Sam Darnold. I like it. I think it's a good signing. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the free agency talk. I'm excited to see what the 49ers keep doing. I know they forked out a lot of money on day one for Javon Hargrave, but they have a lot of cap space, and they've created a lot of cap space. So I'm excited to keep covering this free agency period. Hopefully they continue to add even more incredible players so we can continue on that quest for 6. I've been continuing that since the day I was born. So let's hope we can finally get a Super Bowl out there and build this team up to where we want it to be and hoisting that Lombardi trophy. We'll see. This is a great first step, though. Great free agency for day one. I can't wait to keep breaking it down, like I said. So if you liked the video, man, like the video. If you felt my vibe, I hope you subscribe. But as always, I'm going to leave you with 2 things. 1, peace, love, and positivity. I hope your life is treating you well. And 2, bang, bang, Niner gang. Yay!